Have you ever been asked a question that seemed kind, but deep down, something felt off? The tone was soft, the smile gentle, yet the moment you answered, you knew. You had stepped right into a trap. That's how manipulation often works. It doesn't shout. It doesn't insult. Instead, it disguises itself in questions. Subtle, calculated, carefully designed to make you doubt yourself. And once you start second-guessing your own instincts, you begin to apologize for things you never did. Defend yourself against shadows that don't exist, and slowly surrender your confidence piece by piece. This is not a modern trick. 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius saw this same weakness in human nature. They warned us that liars rarely attack directly. Instead, they plant small seeds of doubt, step and watch as you turn against yourself. The packaging today may look more polished, more polite, even more sophisticated, but the strategy has not changed. And that's why this video matters. Because once you recognize the game, you can't be played. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 of the most manipulative questions ever asked. Questions designed not to seek truth, but to control you. More importantly, I'll show you how to respond the way a Stoic would, with calm, with strength, and with unshakable clarity. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just avoid the trap, you'll walk away with the mindset to never be caught off guard again. The first trap comes disguised as concern. Why are you being so sensitive? On the surface, it sounds almost gentle, as if the person cares about your feelings. But make no mistake, this question isn't about curiosity. It's a strategy. What they're really saying is, you're imagining things. Your emotions can't be trusted. I'm not the problem. You are. Think about it. How many times have you raised a concern in a relationship only to hear, relax, you're overreacting? Or maybe at work when you questioned something that felt wrong and someone brushed it off with, don't make it a big deal. That's not empathy. That's dismissal. And the purpose is clear, to chip away at your confidence, to make you see your awareness as a flaw. But here's the truth. Sensitivity is not weakness. Sensitivity is vigilance. It's your inner radar picking up on what others overlook. A data analyst who spots a tiny error in a financial report? Sensitive. A spouse who notices subtle changes in behavior long before betrayal surfaces? Sensitive. These aren't weaknesses, they're strengths. The Stoics understood this. Seneca reminded us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Manipulators twist this truth against us, but a Stoic knows that when sensitivity is balanced with reason, it becomes clarity. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, if someone shows me I am wrong, I will be happy to change, for I seek the truth, not to be right. So the next time someone smirks and asks, why are you so sensitive? Don't lash out. Don't shrink. Look them in the eye and calmly respond, I'm not being sensitive, I'm being perceptive. Does that make you uncomfortable? One sentence, and the air shifts, because manipulators never expect strength wrapped in calmness. The second question sounds warm, even loving. You trust me, don't you? At first it feels harmless, almost comforting. But look deeper. This is not a question, it's pressure. It's not about building closeness. It's about silencing your instincts. Here's the reality. Someone who is truly trustworthy never needs to ask for your trust. Their actions prove it. Their honesty, consistency, and transparency naturally earn it over time. But when someone stares into your eyes and says, you trust me, right? What they're really telling you is, stop asking questions, stop thinking, stop noticing. Think of the business partner who refuses to share financials but whispers, just trust me. Or the romantic partner who hides their phone, then says, don't you trust me? They aren't proving trustworthiness. They're demanding blind belief. And blind belief? That's the perfect breeding ground for lies. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned us, it is impossible to learn what you think you already know. Manipulators understand this well. They use guilt as a weapon, making you feel like caution equals betrayal. But discernment is not betrayal, it's wisdom. So how should you respond? With composure, not emotion. Take a breath and calmly say, trust is something you earn over time. Are you asking me to abandon my judgment? That single sentence flips the spotlight back where it belongs, on their behavior, not your loyalty. And here's the key. A person with integrity won't be offended by that response. But someone hiding the truth, they'll either deflect, get defensive, or walk away. Either way, you've exposed the game without raising your voice. That's Stoic power in action. Calm, steady, unshakable. The third question is pure misdirection. Are you accusing me? Notice what just happened. You brought up something that felt off. You asked a fair question, maybe even gently. But instead of a thoughtful reply, you're suddenly met with a sharp, dramatic retort. Wait, are you accusing me? And just like that, the tables turn. Now the focus is no longer on their suspicious behavior. It's on you. You go from being the observer to the offender. You start backpedaling, defending your intentions, even apologizing. And in that moment, you hand over your power. That's exactly what the manipulator wants, to put you on trial so you forget why you raised the concern in the first place. Marcus Aurelius gave us the antidote centuries ago. The best answer to anger is silence. But here's the key. Stoic silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the refusal to play someone else's game. Think of a judge in a courtroom. If the guilty party can rattle the judge into apologizing, the entire process falls apart. That's what this trap is designed to do, drag you into emotional chaos. So how do you respond like a Stoic? You don't panic, you don't rush, you pause, you hold steady. And then, calmly, you flip the script with 3 words. Should I be? Those 3 words hit harder than a long defense. They don't expect composure. They expect fear, retreat, or self-doubt. Instead, you've placed the burden back where it belongs, on them. Because here's the truth. The one who fears accusation the most is usually the one with something to hide. That's how you stay rooted, silent, sharp, unshakable. The fourth question comes wrapped in silk but hides a dagger. Would I lie to you? At first it sounds almost touching, as if the person is hurt you'd even consider doubting them. But let's be real. Why would anyone feel the need to say this unless they already sensed your suspicion? This question isn't about honesty, it's about performance. It's designed to make you feel guilty, to shame you into silence. Suddenly, you're the bad guy for daring to ask. They flip the narrative. You're cruel for not trusting, while they pose as the victim. Think of a partner who deletes messages then feigns heartbreak. Would I ever lie to you? Or a coworker who refuses accountability and says, do you really think I'd lie? The more they insist, the more you should pay attention. Because integrity doesn't need a sales pitch. A person living with honesty doesn't have to convince you. They let their actions speak. Seneca said it best. If it's not true, don't speak it. If it's not right, don't do it. Anyone who lives by that principle never needs to plead for your belief. Their character is visible without words. So how do you respond like a Stoic? With clarity, with presence. When someone says, would I lie to you? Don't rush to defend yourself. Let the air sit still. Then reply, that's not the question. The question is, would I even know if you did? That single sentence changes everything. It removes the mask of innocence and puts the spotlight right where it belongs, on truth. Lies can't survive under that kind of light. The fifth question is the manipulator's final card. Can't we just move on? On the surface, it sounds peaceful, like a call to forgiveness, a step toward closure. But listen carefully. What it really means is, I don't want accountability, I don't want to answer, I just want you to stop asking. This is how lies survive. Not because they're brilliant, but because truth seekers grow tired, and manipulators know it. They wait for the moment when you're weary, when you'd rather drop it than dig deeper. That's when their deception takes root. But the Stoics never gave us an escape clause on truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Notice there's no footnote that says, unless it's uncomfortable, or unless you're tired. Truth doesn't expire. Real peace isn't built on suppression, it's built on clarity. So how does a Stoic respond to this question? Not with anger, not with surrender, simply with resolve. I will move forward when I fully understand what happened, not a moment before. That one line plants you like a tree in the storm, calm, steady, immovable. Because here's the secret. Liars don't rely on facts to win. They rely on your emotions, your guilt, your fear of being difficult, your exhaustion. But once you stop giving them that, their power collapses. A Stoic stands firm. While others rush to bury the truth, he breathes, observes, and waits. And in that stillness, clarity emerges. That's how you walk through emotional warfare, untouched, rooted, sharp, and unshakable. Manipulators don't rely on reason, they prey on emotions, guilt, fear, and exhaustion. That's why Stoicism is the shield. It keeps us calm, reminding us to separate what's in our control from what isn't. When facing manipulation, remember, if someone calls you too sensitive, remind yourself, perception is power. If you're pushed to give up, hold on to this truth. Truth endures. A Stoic does not get dragged into emotional games. They observe, they listen, but they stand firm in their principles. That's how they remain free, not a pawn on the board, but the one choosing the moves. Your final message today: I choose clarity, because clarity means freedom. It means you are not controlled, but in control. If you choose clarity too, hit like, subscribe, share this with someone who needs it, and drop 3 powerful words in the comments. I choose clarity.